They laughed because you were quiet. They mocked you because you didn't speak. They mistook your silence for weakness, for surrender, for the end. But what they didn't know was that your silence wasn't empty. It was full of fire, a fire you kept locked behind your ribs, a fire that whispered every night, not yet, but soon. While they celebrated, you studied. While they rested, you worked. While they pointed at your scars, you turned them into steel. You disappeared, not because you were broken, but because the world wasn't ready for what you were about to become. You weren't lost. You were underground. You were underrated. You were untouchable. They couldn't hear the voices in your head telling you to quit. They couldn't feel the weight pressing on your chest. Every morning you woke up, still breathing, still fighting, still climbing out of the grave they tried to bury you in. You didn't fall silent. You were becoming something deadly in the quiet. You were forging a will so strong it didn't need words anymore. Only movement, only action, only destruction. You weren't just healing. You were evolving, and evolution doesn't ask permission. It devours everything that doesn't belong, everything that tried to cage you, everything that told you to play small. They didn't see the war inside, the battle between who you were and who you had to become. The sleepless nights, the bones that ached, the fire that grew every time you were overlooked, underestimated, forgotten. But now they see it. Now they feel it. Now your name drips with weight. Your silence walks louder than their noise. Because you weren't born to stay soft. You were born to survive what would kill most people. You were born to endure the silence, until you became the storm that silence was hiding. They wanted you small. They wanted you broken. They wanted you to believe that your pain made you weak. But you turned pain into a fortress, a kingdom, a battlefield. And now you don't speak to prove a point. You don't explain your scars. You don't argue for your place. You arrive, and everything changes. The air shifts. The room falls quiet. The ones who laugh now look away, because they know what they fed in the dark has returned as something unrecognizable. You are not who they remember. You are not the same soul they betrayed. You are the reckoning built in the void, the consequence they never thought would come. You learned how to move without a sound, how to rise without attention, how to become powerful in total isolation. And that's why you're dangerous, because your strength doesn't come from noise. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't even need light. Your strength comes from every moment you were ignored, every time you had to clap for yourself, every night you screamed into the dark and still woke up stronger. You didn't chase the world. You let the world forget you, so you could come back as the thing they never saw coming. They thought your silence meant nothing, but now it speaks through your eyes. It burns in your footsteps. It echoes in the power you carry without saying a word. You don't need to scream, because your wrath does it for you. You don't need revenge, because your rise is loud enough. You don't need to destroy them, because your existence, your presence alone, reminds them that they failed to bury you. You survived, you evolved, and now you dominate. So let them ask, where did this power come from? Who is this version of you? What happened to the broken one we left behind? Tell them nothing. Just walk. Just stare. Let your silence become the thunder they fear. And if you ever speak, say this: I was built in silence, and now I'm released in wrath.